Okay, so now I'm going to be taking the Pig Latin converter program and expanding it out to be applicable for not just a single word, but a whole sentence or whatever the user puts in. So what we're going to do is use this code, but edit it a bit. So first we're going to change what we're doing here. So we're going to make words equal to scnr.next, make it next line. So we have words for all our words, and we're going to make an array to put all of these words into and separate each individual word. So string words array equals, and we're going to use the split method to convert all the words in that sentence into the one. How should we clear that? Into the one array, into like individual. What do you call them? I forget. Anyways, so we're gonna use words.split, and now we will have an array that we can use. And yeah, we're gonna have to do string word equals. We had to find that later. Can't define that yet. Do inner loops. So we need to freeze this for a moment because that's gonna not work, and just test out if our word array thing works. So for, I don't know, pig word. No, we already used that. Word to print in words array inline word to print. So jealousy my pig Latin, and I didn't initialize that. String word to print. You had to have a string in there because you're making a new variable. What did I do? Let's see what I did here. Oh yeah, I think I had to define where you split the things at. So split at each space. If you don't define where you're splitting, it'll freak out on you. Enter a word. This is a sentence. I don't know why I capitalized sentence, but okay, so that works. We know that our words array is populated with all the words in from our input. So we can freeze this and start unfreezing the rest of our code. So to do this, we're going to want to use another for loop and nest this smaller one in the bigger one. So this for loop is going to be for getting each individual word from the array. So we already used I for the inner one, so we had to use J for the outer one, even though that's not typical, I guess. But it's fine, I think. Maybe it's not. I don't know. So J less than word length and J++. So this will iterate for every item in words array. And for each item we want to set word, which is what we're messing with in here. We're counting the consonants of word. We want to set word equal to words array sub j, because that'll mean this inner loop will work for each word in words array. And if you notice, this counter thing doesn't really work anymore, but we can get around that by making counter into an array itself. So new int, and just make it as long as words array dot length. So counter sub j plus plus. Yeah, so this means we have two related lists, and counter sub j is going to show how many consonants word sub j starts with. So that should work, and test that out. For I can just and print out counter. No. I didn't even have to do that, but it would have been faster to just make a new one. Oh well. Let's see. That should be an int. And this is our sentence. Perfect. So it gives us how many consonants each word in the sentence starts with. So we know that works, and we can move on to actually converting it to Pig Latin. So to do that, we're gonna use more for loops. Find arrays is a lot. For, and I guess I shouldn't use I again. I mean, I'll use j again because I use that for the outer one, and that'll make everything match up. Because otherwise, I'd have to use counter sub I for these, and that would be a bit confusing. So j is less than words array dot length, so that it iterates for each item in words array dot length. So put that in here. So if counter sub j equals 0, then it's a vowel. Print yay. You want a sentence. You don't want a print line. I guess. Well, I'll change at the end so we can figure out if this works first. And change all the counters to counter sub j so that the array part works. And let's see if I did this properly. No. Oh, you had to initialize word because it doesn't know what word is, because we defined word in here, but the scope for this for loop ends at this last bracket. So anything that's defined in here does not show up out here. So we can't, that's why we can use j again, because we define it in here and the scope of this loop ends here, and so we can use it here. But that means we got to redefine words as words array sub j, which is fine. And that compiles, so let's see if it works. This is a sentence. Oh. Yeah, so iste, isie, entitse. So it looks like it's converting it correctly, so now we just have to make it print the way we want it to. So we just add a space at the end and take away the print line, of course. And then at the very end we just do a print line with an empty thing, so it still ends the print line. I didn't save it. So this is a sentence. And there we have it. Works fine and dandy. So you'll notice that there are still a few things left out. This does not deal with punctuation or capitalization, and that is beyond the scope of this video, though it's already getting a bit long. So for now, we just have a pig Latin converter using arrays for a whole line. Where's OBS?